Good girl. Good little leap. You did a good little leap. You ready? Let's get them. She did a flip. Whew. But it's Wednesday, the 22nd. And what is it? It was 9:45 when we got here. It's been almost an hour, 10:37. And so, what was I saying? So yesterday, I fasted a very long time in the morning. I haven't been fasting so much. I've been trying to just put on, some more weight for my exercises, like the bulk or whatever. Well, so but in my bulk process, my belly was getting to the protruding, you know what I'm saying? And, well, yeah. When I first started exercising and just eating and trying to improve my body and myself, getting old, etc. I like the weight because I always been skinny, and I was like, okay, 200 pounds, 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. I've never been 200 pounds. I want to be, 200. Okay, so when I got 200 pounds, I was like, yeah, all right. And my exercising was pretty good as far as like weights, weightlifting or whatever. I was very impressed. And again, with the 200 pounds, I was like, yeah. And then, of course, not knowing how to exercise proper or whatever, not just knowing, eat a bunch and lift weights, or and walk and etc. Cardio, that's pretty much all I've known. Well, so when I'm got heavy weights and my weight is flourishing, is like a big number. I was just like, yeah, okay, but the point, so I'm looking in the mirror, and like flexing and stuff, and it just doesn't, it's not appealing to me. I'm not seeing Superman, or whatever, and or like a bodybuilder or a weightlifter. I'm not seeing these results, and I'm like, what? I'm doing something wrong, definitely, because I'm picking this heavy weight up and I'm not like seeing, like these veins and this like muscle right here, and I'm not seeing it. I'm like, so that's kind of disappointing. But I'm like, so I'm trying to figure out, what I'm doing wrong. And well, I said that there was this guy, his friend of mine, or used to be friend. He. Oh, that's another story. So I said, yeah, and I told him the same thing. I was like, yeah, but I don't see it. And I kind of like was posing on the camera. I was like, you see this? And I picked up the weight, 50 pounds. And I was like, you see this? And I was boom, boom, boom. And I was like, what is going on wrong? And he was like, well, you're fat. And I was like, what? And so then, at that point, I didn't have my shirt off, but so I took my shirt off, and I sure enough was fat. And but not only that, from wearing, and I've told this story many times before, but I'm wearing track pants and like sweatpants and elastic waist pants, So, I'm going to get some pants. Some jeans, and the ones that fit that I got was a 38 in the waist, and with no belt. I didn't have to have a belt, and I'm used to 32 waist with a belt. And skinny kind of, and this is 38 and no belt, and they fit like snug. I mean, there's no room, between the pants and your body. Like your parents get you jeans and then they feel your waist, and are they too tight? So there was no room. So I was on the verge of needing even a bigger size than the 38, and so. I was like, holy shit. So the belly, and now these big ass pants. So I was like, damn, I am fat. And again, the size, or 200 pounds, and the exercise I'm doing was awesome, and I'm loving it. But then when I realize, when I comprehend to what's going on, I realize my belly, is over my weight, over my belt, or over my waistline, or and even with pants, kind of cascading over, that, and then the size of the pants, I was like forming into a weeble wobble, and I didn't like that one bit. That didn't suit me. So my first thing was to get rid of that, and eliminate whatever was causing that and whatever I was doing wrong to make that happen. And so that was my first. That was the biggest thing right there. And it was to fast first off, and then after fasting, etc., and then getting to a desired everything, then it was the control of what was going on and what I was doing, eating, exercising, etc. So at this time, I was busting out of 38 in the waist, and I was almost 220 pounds. So I did a diet, and a lot of fasting, a lot of not eating, and but there was a lot of eating too. But there was a lot of not eating, a lot of times not eating, and so my first diet, I got down to a 34 in the waist with a belt, and 176 pounds. So I lost a significant amount of weight and fat, and but then I got a nice little regiment nice little routine. And then I needed to worry about my health. So now I'm worrying about my health. So I had to do another diet. And well, right now results are 185. I'm 185. I wear a 32 size pants with no belt, but I wear a 33 with a belt. The 33 in the waist. It's hard to find a 33 waist pant though, but I wear a 33 in the waist with a belt, 32 in the waist with no belt, 185, and and you can kind of see the Superman, or and when I was looking for the Superman before on the first time around, again I was like, what? Well, now that part is becoming more visible. But Miss Dinky now, she's been put on a diet because she's a butterball. She's a little more than she should be. Right there. Well, she sat down right on the back part where her back hind leg is, where it's supposed to be. Kind of like, let me see. We see Mary Jane's right there. See how Mary Jane's leg like pops out from her backside right here. Come here, right here. Silly. Miss Dinky should be like that. She should have a slimmer waistline, and but she's nothing but a little muscle though. But she needs a little slimmer, so I put her on a diet. She can eat as much dog food as she wants, because that's I fill up their bowls with dog food. And but as far as the protein food and fats, we've limited her with those. So she gets Mary Jane will get a piece of chicken, and Miss Dinky will get a little bit. Of course she gets some chicken too, but Mary Jane, she her metabolism and her exercise ability, her running and activity, she's pretty good. She knows what's going down. We've got her. Oh look, I gave them the wrong pieces. But for when you get old, you have to look out for like the weight, because visceral fat, heart disease, heart failure, heart attacks, liver failures. Visceral fat is the fat that just overruns your organs inside and then messes them up, and they can't function properly. But not just that, you got diabetes, everything, cholesterol, anything can go wrong if you're overweight. And it's just not, I don't know, it's just not good. So again, especially when you get older, if you don't care, that's one thing, and then just don't care and whatever, and then people will mourn you when you pass. But I had a dog, and my first dog, Nana, when I had her, my whole thing was, when I started out doing it with her before she passed away, but my thing was, I'm just gonna die, and she's gonna just be there, and she's gonna eat me, because there's no gonna be any food anywhere, and I'm gonna be there dead. So I'm just, that was my logic. I was like, I don't care, because, I'll blah, 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 and, living like I'm living. This was back then, too, though. I'm just going to pass away, and my little dog will, just eat me up. And they'll find me, half-eaten or whatever, and a little dog, And, so she passed away before that was able to happen, and I was kind of bummed on it. But then when that happened, that's when I got Cheeto. And that's when I was like, okay, let's do this. Because I got Cheeto at the shelter when he was 3. And he's going to live a while. And I wanted a dog again to outlive me. And I had no idea when I first got Nana. I had no idea, like, my health, my terminal illness, etc. And so it was a different ball game. But then when I learned, when I was able to get insurance, because I had no insurance for anything, I was able to get insurance. My first thing was, so I can go to the doctor now. I've never been to the doctor in my life, so now I'm going to go to the doctor and just, physical and whatnot. And that's when, again, I started finding out things, well, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. And a lot of things, if I wouldn't have had insurance or had a doctor visit, I would not have learned, and I would have been dead way before now. In my dieting habit and my just habits, period, I'd already be done. But so, when I got Cheeto, that's when I was like, okay, we're going to do this the right way. And that's when I started trying to better my health and body. And then Cheeto passed. And then and he passed away from, they said, tumor and kidney problems or something. And comes down, it was probably a tumor because of the kidney problems, something. And the kidney problems, which was actually came down to, was probably his diet, which was pedigree dog food. So I do research and yada yada and pedigree dog food. So, Nana, my first dog, she didn't like dog food. She didn't like dog treats, dogs, period. Anything dog, she wasn't with it. And look, she's like, I'm chilling. I know you chilling, huh? You beautiful girl. Come on, come on. Go get your ball, Ding. Go get your ball. You passed it twice, silly. So, but so when I got Cheeto, and he liked dog food and treats, sort of, but he ate dog food. But so when I learned he liked dog food, and having Nana for 15 years, and she didn't like dog food, now Cheeto likes dog food. I was like, yeah, it's just like, all right. And my budget, my financial budget, is still not really substantial or good, But I found Pedigree. I'm looking for dog food for him, and I found Pedigree, and Pedigree was like 50 pounds for like $25, and I was like, what? And so every now and then, like, I would $25. I would buy a bag of dog food. So I had like 4, and then the pandemic came, and they were giving away dog food, and so I had 6 of those giant 50 pound, 50, 45, 60 pound bags of dog food for Cheeto, and Cheeto was a Chihuahua, or he was a mixed Chihuahua, but I had dog food to last his whole life, 20 years for a Chihuahua, dog food for a Chihuahua. And when he passed away, and I learned that pretty much it was the pedigree that was messing up his kidneys, or messed up his kidneys, I threw that away. 100 and something pounds of, it was 150, 200 pounds of dog food I just threw away. And again, I had one bag open and like 4 or 5 bags just unopened in the corner, just, ready. But again, nowhere near done with the open bag, but I threw all the pedigree stuff away, got rid of all the pedigree. I was even getting him, occasionally the little wet packets, and of course he liked them too, but anything pedigree I had garbage, trash, and then I got Mary Jane. She's my first puppy. Mary Jane, you're beautiful. She's my first puppy, and of course when I got her, I want to do everything right, everything. That's when we first started the grooming and the spa dates. I started that up because I wanted to, have a nice little life, from born puppyhood to, adulthood to senior to, and and again, when I had her, okay, spa day, they do her nails, they're gonna give her the bath, dink, and the brushing and the whole nine, and brush her teeth, and Petco sucks. Yeah, I was like, yeah, Petco, because they do that stuff, and they had vet there, and etc. and so on. So her first pet date, or the pet date, spa date day, and I'm excited for her too, but she went to the spa, and then and it sucks because again, you drop them off, then you got to wait 4 hours, and then go back and pick them up, and that's not good. It's not good at all. It's not. So I go pick her up, and she's nice and fluffy, and she feels so soft, and she smells so good, and her teeth are so nice and pearly white, and her nails are so good and trimmed, and they didn't paint them, because I heard they paint the nails and and put a little bow on, but Mary Jane, she don't have hair for the bows, but they could have done her painted her nails and stuff, but they didn't do that, or whatever, etc. So she had she smelled good, and she just felt so good, and so we go home, to her having kennel cough. And I don't know what kennel cough is, but I do know that after I got my dog from Petco, from the spa date, she's gagging and choking up, and not herself. And the worst part again was when she's gagging and choking up, which I learned that was supposedly canine coughs. Okay, whatever. So, but it wasn't like a cough to me. It was like a gag, and she's trying to throw up, trying to hack up a lung. Okay, well, so we go to the doctor, and now, because again, now we got to go to the doctor. So we go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, yeah, it's kennel cough, but it could be something else. You want us to do X-rays and all these tests and yada yada and blah blah, and shows me a bill, and I'm like, no, don't do that. And now I'm just like pissed, upset, because she shows me a bill, and it's like $2,000 or something, and it's for like these X-rays and these tests, and I'm like, no, I'll go with the kennel cough, And she was like, oh, okay, and gives me some cough medicine, syrup stuff, and so we go home, and of course I'm like, oh, my little baby is sick or something wrong there, and cleared up, went away, and blah blah blah. But then for that, she don't go back to Petco to stay there for 4 hours with other dogs that apparently and etc. could have whatever. And for that, I was told and learned that when that happens, it's of course from other dogs, but it's mostly because like Petco or dog kennels or etc., they don't clean and sanitize or whatever, where the dogs are. So this dog could have the mange or whatever and be infected and be contagious, and be in a kennel, and then die or removed from the kennel or whatever, and put another dog in that kennel. Well, that dog now contracts the mange and whatever, from the damn other dog. And so I was like, okay, no more. Spa day will come from us. We'll do it ourselves. We'll handle it. And but for me, if Mary Jane, again, my first dog, my first puppy, that is, if I'm going to go to brush her teeth and she don't want me to do it, I'm not going to force her. So, because that's just, I don't know, it's just something. We've brushed them, and she'll tolerate me doing, things to her. Sometimes, but it's like I want to brush her teeth right now, and she don't want me to. Well, she don't want me to. I'm not gonna do it. And but I'm gonna brush her teeth right now, and she's like, cool or whatever, or just like whatever, do whatever. Okay, then we do it. And of course you don't know when, like, she's gonna let me, because brushing her, I'll go to brush her, I'll pull out the brush, and she knows what the brush is, but I'll pull out the brush and then say, you want to brush? And she'll come over to get a brush. Or I'll say, you want to brush? And she won't come over to get a brush, So if she comes over to get a brush, she gets a brush. If she don't come over to get a brush, she don't get the brush. And that's, and that's just it. But it's good now with Miss Dinky, Mary Jane, if, but now Miss Dinky, again, littler and etc. But her mouth, the toothbrushing, again, is a thing. But when Mary Jane decides to get a brush, Miss Dinky, of course, has to have a brush, because Mary Jane's just got a brush. So Miss Dinky, she even wants to brush. She's watching. Mary Jane, I'm sitting in my chair, right here. Okay, here's my chair. Mary Jane will lay right beside the chair right here. And Miss Dinky will usually be behind me. But now she's, getting to be a butterball. She's not going to get any bigger than that, but she started getting a little butterball. She's needing more of the chair, And so, but she'll sit behind me in the chair, and I'll sit like on the front of the chair, and or she'll lay on the couch. Or Mary Jane will lay on the couch, or they're both on it, whatever. Well, so if Mary Jane is beside my chair and I'm in the chair, and Miss Dinky's on the couch, and they can both be passed out. Mary Jane's passed out on the floor beside the chair, beside me. Miss Dinky's passed out on the couch. Well, I can reach down from the chair to Mary Jane and scratch her belly or pat her on the back, or and immediately Miss Dinky is eyeing it, and she's seeing it, and she's over there, because she's got to have the same scratch, the same pat, and it's the trip. And then though, Mary Jane has her spot on the bed, and she'll be on her spot on the bed, and well, Miss Dinky likes that spot too, though. Well, because it's Mary Jane's spot. So Miss Dinky, if she'll take the spot, and Mary Jane could go and get some water in the living room, get some water, get some food, and Miss Dinky will have that spot, Mary Jane's spot. And Mary Jane comes back into the bedroom, because we're in the bedroom. Mary Jane comes back to the bedroom, and Miss Dinky's in her spot. Hey, Mary Jane's gonna get on the bed. Miss Dinky will growl and try to keep her from getting on the bed. She's like, no, you're not getting this spot. Don't. Oh, you're not getting this spot. I don't know. It's just funny. Miss Dinky, she's the boss. She thinks she's the boss. And Mary Jane here, she could end her anytime. She could be like, nope, you're not the boss. And but She lets her be the boss. She tolerates her. And she loves her.